Y'all remember these things? The original jock jams?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Throughout my life, I have made many road trips up into the central part of Pennsylvania. And between going to Penn State football games and having gone to college near here, I was fairly familiar with the area. But every time I visit, I leave with a sense of wonder and desire to explore more. Central PA is not even remotely like the rest of the state. There is ample farmland, thousands and thousands of wild acres, and the northern parts of the Blue Ridge Mountain. Driving through this backcountry and small PA towns always gives me an easygoing, peaceful feeling. Well, I was headed for a campground right smack in the center of some of those mountains.
So let me explain what I'm doing here a little bit. I'm arriving right now at Poe Paddy State Park, and I'm driving through Poe Valley State Park to get to Poe Paddy. It's in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's in the middle of the mountain range, I believe, part of the Blue Ridge. But it's not far from State College. And so made the trip up here now. I've got a 25-minute drive on these back roads here. You can hear it. I'm wondering if this whole drive back, I've got 11 miles yet to go. I'm wondering if it's all gravel like this. There's just not a lot around back in here. So I'm gonna set up for a night and just get away, capture some of the heartland of central Pennsylvania, because the country up in here it's wonderful, man. Just, I went to college up in this region, and there's just a part of me that really misses it and really enjoys being up here. So
it's an exit I've passed countless times, and I've always wondered what was back those roads that read to Poe Valley State Park. Technically, it's two state parks right beside each other. Poe Valley has the lake and an adjoining campground, but I was staying just down the road a bit farther, at Poe Paddy State Park. These two are only separated by about 5 or 7 miles. The infamous Penns Creek runs right through Poe Paddy, and in fact, my campsite was less than a stone's throw away from the swift-flowing river. It is forested area all through these mountains, and you really do feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere. Aside from the lake and recreational area that I passed on my drive into the park, the campgrounds are literally the only things around for miles. There were these pavilions tucked in between campsites every so often, which I thought was really cool. I hadn't seen anything like that before at places I've camped. It would be good for large groups to occupy multiple campsites near each other and have a common area for everyone, and then a little bit of shelter for the rain if needed. I checked out the creek. One of my college roommates would come out to Penn's Creek on a weekly basis to fly fish for trout. Talked about it nonstop. And every so often, I could hear the occasional shrieks coming from water tubers making their way down the rapids on the river. This was just one small section of the creek, but I could see why it would be a fisherman's dream. With my camp set up, I made my way back to the valley, to the lake, to find a place to eat some lunch. Finding little gems like this lone picnic table right on the water is what makes these adventures so much fun. You couldn't even see this from the road, but exploring one of the few pull-offs led me down this short path with this clearing at the edge of the lake bed. There was even shade for me to sit in. What a fitting environment. And it all happened so spontaneously. And that is what makes life so worth getting out to explore when we can. So this was Poe Valley State Park. This awesome little beach on a tucked away lake deep in the heart of Pennsylvania. Secluded, tranquil, only one road to get in or out, but it's beautiful. It seems like a great place to bring the family, to make a day or even a weekend out of it. I wasn't here this time to swim or use the water for any recreational purposes. I was just exploring, but it's certainly on my short list of places to revisit another time. And then I can come more prepared to utilize more of the park's features. After a little while, it was time to go hunting for lookouts. I was, in fact, surrounded by mountains, so I was hoping for some good ones. I found a few, and I spent the better part of the evening searching that gravel road for the grand vistas that awaited me. Oh yeah. This is a fantastic little corner to visit in Pennsylvania to experience some of the mountainous parts of the state. The countryside is just so beautiful way out here. And these golden rays of sunlight pelting me between the thick forest on my drive gave me that waning summer feeling. That feeling of knowing there aren't too many evenings like this left in the year. But on the other hand, the cooler weather and change that comes along with it is what I get so excited about each year at this time. With my exploring finished for the day, I was winding down to have a quiet night. But I still had my eyes peeled in case I came across any Poes. And if you don't know what a Poe is, I can't help you out too much. But I know that they are mysterious and elusive, the stuff that myths are made out of. Something like lost souls still trapped here on the earth plane. And since it was getting dark in the Poe Valley, I thought I caught a few on my camera while I was enjoying the fire. There it is. That's gotta be one. That flickering light over there. Through the woods. I hope that's a Poe. I think that's a Poe. Oh. I caught a Poe. I couldn't believe it. And then I caught some of the early light shining up through the valley with my breakfast in the morning. There is a walking trail that runs alongside the river that's just yards away from the campground. It has benches and access points out to the water, a true fisher's haven. And on top of all of that, it's a gorgeous stroll in the morning to start your day. Especially in the late bits of summer, where the mornings have that autumn pinch of coolness to them. It's getting to be that time of year again, and it's only just right around the corner.